We could get a Supreme Court decision as soon as today on a controversial immigration law in Texas. The state wants to give local law enforcement, and not just the feds, the authority to lock up and prosecute suspected illegal immigrants. Some of those local officials do not want to do that, as Omar Villafranca reports.
Federal agents and airboats patrol the Rio Grande every day. This is a daily occurrence.
Yeah.
And if some Texas lawmakers get their way,
Everything is going to be affected.
Webb County Sheriff Martin Cuellar and other local law enforcement will become the new front line in securing the border.
Do you feel that law enforcement was consulted enough when this law was being made in Austin?
I don't think so.
The law is SB 4. It would allow Texas sheriff and police departments to arrest, jail, and prosecute migrants for illegally entering the U.S. if they didn't come in through an official port of entry. The measure also gives state judges the power to order migrants back over the border to Mexico to avoid prosecution. Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed SB 4 into law last year in response to the historic surge in migrant crossings on the Texas-Mexico border. In an interview with Cecilia Vega for 60 Minutes, Abbott said this about his law.
We're not imposing a Texas border policy. Texas very simply is enforcing the laws that are the policy of the United States Congress.
If it does go into effect, Laredo Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino worries it could lead to racial profiling and burden his police force.
We're short-staffed. So now if you add another burden or another situation where they have to act, would be totally dysfunctional.
Do you think this law is a burden for your deputies?
Well, it's a burden to everybody. You know, I'm talking to law enforcement in general because we're not immigration officers. We're first responders.
The sheriff says he's also short-staffed, but his main concern is the lack of guidance from the state on how to enforce the law.
Any new task forces being formed for this law?
No.
Any new vehicles for this law?
No.
Any new training yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Just a new law?
Yeah, just a new law.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Omar Villafranca, Laredo, Texas.